Welcome to Chapter 1, Builder of All Things. This is like the foundation of the whole book. It's the foundation for the way I run a business. Builder of all things. It starts with perspective. When I was running a construction project in Newport Beach, California, we were working on a house that was significant in size. We're talking 12,000 square feet. We were hitting luxury components to the levels and degrees you can't even think of until you see or touch. The material intelligence of understanding the products that we were touching. Many people haven't even installed these things before, so it was still a learn as you go process. And the opportunity was amazing, but can you imagine the stress level of taking on this project? There was components behind this project that had its own weight, with challenges with the architect, challenges with integrity and funding with the architect and certain players that were originally on this project. We got called in to save the day, come in with the integrity level of construction. And so there was a high level of expectations to hit and solve this build. And once we got into the meat of it, it was a lot of fun, but there was a lot of stress. And the key component for myself, as not only the owner of the company, but somebody who was leading the project as a project manager, I had to fly from Hawaii to California for weeks at a time and continuously for months and months. Now, mind you, I have a wife, I have 4 kids, a few of them married, I have grandkids. I have a company with many employees that I have to manage. But in my mindset, and the team trying to scale, trying to grow, take on opportunities, and this thing was massive. Could put us on another level or it could destroy us. It was just so much stress trying to creatively come up with agreements with subcontractors we never met. We were pool shopping with all the subs through Yelps and different internet outlets, and just building our own team and new team. We were flying out our superintendents and our teams, but the project was just so massive that it just took every effort from every degree as a builder and as an owner. And it just built weight. But once we signed up for the journey, we were full in. And it's exciting in the location it was Newport Beach, California, Orange County, prime time. We're talking down the street. Kobe Bryant home, family is where they lived before he had passed on. And there's just high level individuals in this neighborhood, high security levels to get in, trying to get subcontractors, vendors, and other components to get this thing built. When we were mid-project, and we're talking a wellness room, we're talking a theater that will have a golf simulator room, we're talking an office suite, we're talking like major wings, multi-bathrooms, every bedroom with a suite. We have full-size 80-plus inch TVs coming out of the ceiling electronically. It was just amazing opportunity to be a part of this. And it's at the top of a hill, and so on a lot of about 34,000 square feet, this home and this land, I believe, was purchased at $15 million, and the construction and everything all in was about $20 million. So there was just a lot of components, and we were fighting for efficiency, quality, and integrity across the board. And in the midst of all this, there was a challenging time where I left the job site late at night. I'm driving down the mountain in a windy road and just feeling the weight of everything on this project and how massive it felt. And it just really hit me. We're human, and the emotions hit, the weight hit, the thought of, can I finish this? Can I get this done? Am I worthy? Am I capable? And started feeling this insignificant side of my identity. Like, is this even what I'm made for? Am I going to set this up for failure? So all these thoughts just running through my head. And in that moment is when, I looked back up at the hill as if I was taking my focus back up to my issue and my problem and my stress. And I looked, and something amazing happened in that moment. The houses that were so massive looked so small, and they kept growing smaller and smaller as I continued to drive down the hill. And God kind of gave me a comical perspective and made me laugh. And he made me realize, because as the houses shrank, each one got smaller and smaller and smaller. Guess what grew? The mountain they sat on. The mountain just kept looking like it was growing as I was going down the mountain. Because as I was at the top of the hill, you couldn't recognize the grandness of the mountain. You only recognized the grandness of the house and the weight and the stress involved. So as I got to the bottom of the hill, I got out of my car, looked up, and the perspective, it really looked like, I wrote this in the book, a bag of Skittles just thrown across, scattered across a mountain of grass. And so all that weight, all that stress just changed in perspective, realizing that the builder of all things, and when we say that, the builder of all things, we are connecting the dot of who actually designed and created the earth. And see, this is a really interesting thought I will plug here in the MasterClass, is that in a lot of schools and a lot of teachings of creation and earth, they rarely use the word "it was designed." And you see, God is a designer. And if you look at the earth, if you look at our bodies, if you look at the universe, if you look at all these things, they were well designed to operate. And as a builder myself, and being in the construction world, it would be ignorant and just way off course for me to say that there wasn't a designer or somebody who is building or had built all these things. So when I look at the mountain, this thing just didn't adapt through time. That's the word that is used in schools, is it adapt through time. This is not an adaptation through time. The mountains were created. They were designed. Our bodies were designed. They were created. It would be ignorant for me to go to a building and say this thing just adapted. It's not, it destroys everything that I represent as a builder. There was architectural design, foundation, thought, interior creativity, how everything just evolves together for one great purpose in that building. Something as simple as a watch. And know that this was well designed and thought out. And we sometimes as humans can set aside that a mountain or the whole creation of earth and universe. Now I say it all that to say that when I'm looking at this mountain and I'm now in a new awe of God and his creation, it minimized my stress and my weight that I was carrying and that I created, and it felt so small compared to the grandness of his mountain. It helped me with the practical application in life, with understanding that we have power in our perspective and how we see things. Sometimes that perspective can get diluted, can get foggy, or get redirected to look and focus somewhere else. The power we have that God has given us by creating a universe with planets that are extensive to how far we don't even know, to understand his grandness, is so we can understand these little weights are his. They're his that we can give. And practically now, when I'm in any kind of situation, I realize that I'm not the owner of this company. I'm not the owner of anything. I am and have an amazing opportunity to steward these things. And so I've shifted my perspective to know that, wait a minute, this house that seems so grand, this mountain now that has minimized this little grand house that I thought was the biggest challenge in the world, realized that he is actually holding it. Like a mountain to me became his hand holding my little problem, and knowing he is in control. He is actually the builder of all things, and knowing that I have just been given the privilege and opportunity to take what he owns and steward it to the best of my ability, and know that he has full operation and control around it. So my encouragement to you for this class is very simple and very small, but it's a shift in perspective, understanding who is actually the owner. This can happen in your church. This could happen in your business. This could happen in your marriage. This could happen in relationships. This could happen with you as a coach or a teacher or a position in your career. Know that you're stewarding what's in front of you. God ultimately is the owner and builder of all things, and he's a partner with you through it. And when we understand, have faith, and believe this, you'll see that these weights, the stress, having a fear of failure, those things will always try to sneak in or try to rest or wait on you. But knowing that you have the owner to transfer that, to keep going, is my encouragement, and my practical application is always remember him as the owner, and we are the stewards in these things that God has given us, and we can walk with freedom and enjoyment, and understanding we have a privilege and an opportunity to serve and to work with these things that he has placed with us.